of this slide is, take a look at the very top, 48% across this country, doesn't matter what industry you're in. And at the bottom, it's so key to understand that it's about perseverance. It's about following up and continuing to follow up, continuing to follow up. You're going to hear me again repeat things over and over again. 80% of sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact. So when people say, hey, I tried 3 times or I tried 4 times, you got to keep trying. You got to keep persevering. That is the key. I'm telling you, you can't stop. You can't stop. Okay? It's all about preparation, 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 and repetition, repetition, repetition. You got to continue to do things over and over and over until you fine tune it. It's almost like the expression, do it in your sleep. That's the key. So again, look at this. This is, if you only get out of something in the next hour about following up with people and following through with people, this is the key thing to do. And most people, as you can tell, don't do it very well. You got to respond back to all forms of communication: email, text, phone calls, and in person. Most of the time when I get up and I talk and I'm face to face with folks, they tell me that they'll get back to people in 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours. That's not good enough. You know, you've got to get in your mind an urgency to get back to people. It doesn't matter if it's an email or a text or a phone call. You know, you've got to get back to them. That is the most critical thing that you can do. I'll give you a story. I'm in northern Michigan. There's a guy named Chris Smith who is a Bloomington businessman who is very successful. We were talking the other night, and he talked about he gets so frustrated, overwhelmed with everyone's like after him, and they want to contact him, and they want answers. And I explained to him, you don't have to have answers to get back to people. Do you hear me? You don't have to have answers. People just want to be acknowledged. People just want to be acknowledged that you heard them, that you got their call, that you got their text message. So here's what happened. He went home after this evening, and I laughed. He goes, well, gosh, you didn't even charge me a consulting fee, and we just were laughing. He calls me texts me the next couple of days and said, hey, I had these text messages. I just got back to these people, and all I said was, hey, I'm on vacation. Give me like 3 days, and I'll get back to you, and I'll put it on the calendar. And you know what? It was a key customer that he was talking to. So the guy got back to him and said, oh, my God, I didn't know you were on vacation. Oh, please, that'd be great. Just get back to me when you can in 3 days. And I guarantee you, folks, he will close this deal. He will close that sale because he got back. So again, I cannot stress, I can't do what you say you're going to do and do what you say you're going to do and get back to people. Yeah, maybe an hour, it may be a minute, it may be 2 hours, but don't wait. Don't wait. Have it in your head it's urgent and that you care and that everybody is treated equally. You know what I'm saying? Every customer, every interaction, every person that you come in contact with, you treat them like a king and a queen. There's no difference whether or not they buy $1,000 from you, $10,000 from you, $1 million from you. It's all about just treating them the same way. And if you get back to everyone the same way, I don't care who contacts me. And you know what? I've been told this over and over again. In 35 years in the business, I've been pretty busy throughout a day's time, on Monday through Friday. I've never been too busy. I've never been too busy, and I've never been too busy in 35 years not to get back to somebody, not to get back to someone. So it's not only do you get back, but do you follow through to what you said you're going to do? Remember what I said. Do what you say you're going to do and do it when you say you're going to do it. So if you tell someone you're going to get them something at a certain time frame, do it. Don't be 10 minutes late. You know, late is an excuse. You never be late. You know, an interesting story. You know the 2 main reasons why people say that they're late to a meeting or they didn't get there on time is their alarm clock didn't go off or they had traffic. Then get your BUTT up and hours before you need to go. And there's no excuse that traffic should not have stopped you. That means leave earlier. or if you need 2 or 3 alarm clocks to be on time. What I'm trying to say, there is no excuse. There is no excuse to be late to any meeting, any function. And just remember something, you have a choice. So you choose. Like that Chris Smith, he chose not to get back to people. He would tell me this. I wouldn't get back to him for days, for weeks, because I thought that they had to have an answer. No, they just want to be acknowledged. And by the way, these are behavioral changes. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to work like that. So this is something you have to work on and work on and work on and work on. And it's tough and it's not easy to do. I was just recently, this guy that on this book, Dick Canada, wrote this book. God bless him, he's deceased. I used to go to the Kelley School of Business in Bloomington, Indiana to teach a lot. I still do, from the MBA program to, the undergraduates. And he wrote this book, and laughingly, he took some of my comments and my stories from one day in class, and it tells you, I want to read this. Chip told my classes that there were a party that began at 7 p.m. He and his wife had arrived in the driveway of the host at 6:50, 10 minutes early. At 6:59, he and his wife would exit their car, walk up to the host door, and knock at 7. There's no doubt in my mind that Chip links urgency with trust, and that he does what he says he will do. That's how it works. Now, have I driven my wife crazy over the years? No question about it. I used to get to high school football games 2 hours before the games. We could watch the band. But here's the thing, folks. Listen real closely to this. You can't just turn it on and off. If you don't do it in your personal life, you're not going to do it in your professional life. If you don't do it in your professional life, you're not going to do it in your personal life. So one becomes the same. One becomes the same. You've got to change your personal life, how you respond. To be on time is to be early. To be on time is not to be late. To be on time is to be early. And if I was given a promotion to someone, or if you want to get the fastest track up your corporate or up your business cycle, whatever you do, show up at someone's meeting 10, 15, 20 minutes early and be waiting for them. And that's probably one of the most impressive things you'll ever probably do. And finally, on this part of it, our study concludes that the percentage of our customers who buy from us with any effort is 0. So if you don't follow up, you don't follow through, you're not going to close your sale, and you're going to have that 0%. And remember that 50% of the people across this country in any business, any industry, they don't follow up very well. They take that for granted. They take that for granted, and you shouldn't.